Now, in a significant escalation in tensions in West Asia, U.S. has launched a series of strikes on Yemen, killing at least 19 people in capital Sana'a. And this comes after U.S. President Donald Trump announced an attack against Houthis. In a post on social media, Trump warned the rebel group that hell will rain down upon them if they did not abandon their campaign in the Red Sea. Now, Trump further said that he will use overwhelming lethal force until the U.S. achieved its objectives. He also hit out at Iran and threatened to immediately halt support to the group. In a post on social media platform X, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also warned that Houthi attacks on American ships and aircraft will not be tolerated. He also wrote that Iran has been put on notice. The strikes represent the biggest U.S. military operation in West Asia since Trump took office in January. And it comes days after the Houthis said they would resume attacks on Israeli vessels. That was in response to the blockade of aid into Gaza. It also comes at a time when U.S. is trying to bring Iran to the negotiating table over its nuclear program. Now, shortly after Trump's announcement, plumes of black smoke was seen above the Sana'a airport complex, which includes a sprawling military facility. Houthis also reported explosions in northern province of Saada, a stronghold of the Iran-backed militia. Houthi media office reported U.S. strikes on a residential neighborhood in Sana'a's northern district of Shawab. Strikes were also reported in Ghetaf, which is home to Houthi-held military facilities and its political bureau, and also southwestern Adhamar and the district of Abs. In a statement, the Houthis' political bureau described the attack as a war crime and threatened that it will not go unanswered. Since November 2023, the Houthis have launched more than 100 attacks in solidarity with Palestinians over Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza. It has targeted shipping lanes in the Red Sea, disrupting the global shipping and trade network. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Rubio informed Lavrov about the U.S. military deterrence operations against the Houthis. The duo discussed steps to follow up on recent meetings in Saudi Arabia and continue work towards restoring communication between the U.S. and Russia. All right, to discuss more, we are now being joined by Adrian Calamil from New York. He is a fellow at the Arabian Peninsula Institute, terrorism and Middle Eastern scholar, as well as the author of forthcoming book on Hezbollah. It's always a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Josa.
Now, the strike that Trump has ordered seems like it will go on for quite a while until the U.S. president achieves what he wishes to, the objectives. What, according to you, is he wishing to achieve, and does this look like a new front of war?
Those are all very good questions. Whether it's a new front, I think the Houthis kind of knew this was coming. Everybody kind of knew this was coming over the past year. They've launched over 100 attacks, and there's been very little response due to proximity in relation to the Gaza conflict, Hezbollah as well, and you look at the threat matrix. So they kind of fell off the threat matrix. And then you also saw with the Biden administration, they believed that there was a diplomatic solution. They had taken them off the foreign terrorist organization list and done a number of things. So now they're back on the foreign terrorist organization list. They're being treated as terrorists. And then you have to think about over the last year since they've been launching all these rockets aimed at Israel and American ships, cutting off Bab el-Mandeb Strait, causing chaos in the Red Sea, is that there's been intelligence collected over that time. So that gives the United States better targeting information as to where the Houthis are shooting these from. The U.S. approach had been a defensive approach, and so they've been taking the arrows out of the sky instead of hitting the actual bows that are launching them.
Right, and Trump has clearly been warning Iran to not back Houthis. So is Trump somehow using Houthis to indirectly warn Iran, and all this while also hoping for talks over a nuclear program?
Yeah, absolutely. On the one, he's giving Iran a very direct signal. The next direct signal, I think one of them if you want to impact the Houthis, is there's an Iranian spy ship in the Red Sea that's targeting the ships that they want the Houthis to attack. Now, as far as a deal goes, I think this is really a diplomatic measure by Trump. He's playing diplomacy on the one side, and he's also taking kinetic action or military action on the margins and saying, listen, we need to get to the table, but at the end of the day, Ali Khamenei's not going to agree to anything. And this will come to some type of, well, the maximum pressure campaign and possibly a strike on nuclear facilities in the future. It's one thing Trump has been really consistent on with his foreign policy, is that the Islamic Republic of Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Right, and it's not just the U.S. Ships that are at risk, it's also the other countries. Do you think we will see involvement of other countries like the U.K., which have also have been launching strikes together with the U.S.? We saw in December last year.
Yeah, I would suspect that the UK would probably get involved as well. I think Israel may sit this one out and give them, there'll be intelligence cooperation and sharing as to what they've seen over the last year. And the American ships have been parked there as well. But we could see also, we don't know what the relationship will all of a sudden become with. We see a clear triangulation happening between the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Russia in the region. And Saudi Arabia is no friend of the Houthis. They're kind of forced into a ceasefire by the Islamic Republic of Iran at the beginning of probably about 2018. So look for the UAE as well as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to possibly start mobilizing there if this is a new front.
Right, and just before I let you go, just one more question. Now, will these strikes in any way influence the Israel-Hamas ceasefire in a negative or positive way?
No, I really don't think it has an impact on it. With these strikes, this was, we could all see this coming. And with the Islamic Republic, they're the ones that tell the Houthis what to do. They're also the ones that tell Hamas what to do. So they're really the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. And the Houthis have deliberately connected what they're doing to the plight of the Palestinians, of what's happening in Gaza. But at the end of the day, it's because the Islamic Republic is just telling them to do it.
All right. Well, of course, we'll look at all the developments that we see. But thank you so much, Mr. Adrian Kellamil, for joining us and giving your perspective.
Thank you. Thank you again.